What is your habit number? I believe everyone has a habit number, and by that I mean the optimum number of good habits they want to attempt to do each day. Now, for some people it may be 100. For other people it might be 1. There's no one right or wrong number. Everyone is different. You are different from me. I'm not here to tell you you must have 10 good habits on your habits checklist, or you must have 200 or 100 or 2. There's no one number. You have to figure out what works well for you. Some people like a lot of habits. They like a lot of structure in their daily life. It gives form, it gives context to their life, gives them something to do, and it makes them feel good. It's empowering. But for some of you, you may feel like, I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to go through some big checklist. That's going to take all the fun out of life. That's going to take the spontaneity out of life. You might be one of these people where you're better off just focusing on one good habit. And I'm blending the term habit and routine together. I don't simply mean brushing your teeth. We all want to brush our teeth every day, but presumably you can do more than simply brush your teeth. I'm talking about something a little bit bigger than brushing the teeth, something you've probably already done. I need you to think of how many that is, and then figure out a way of keeping focus on it. Personally, I actually like having a lot of habits. I didn't used to be this way. But at this stage of my life, I actually enjoy having a lot of specific habits. I have 100 habits every single day that I try to do. Now, I don't complete every one every day, but I'm over 90% every single day. I have 100 habits. Some of them are as simple as do 20 seconds of jumping jacks. Well, that only takes 20 seconds to do 20 jumping jacks. That's not that big a deal, but it's one of 100 things I try to do every single day. You may want to go in a completely reverse way and just focus on maybe 3 habits. It could be that just one habit solves the problem for you of how to organize your life. If you're a writer, it may be if you just tell yourself, I am going to write 2,000 words every single day, or maybe 1,000 words every single day, and it's written, it's going to be edited, and that may be the only habit you want to focus on. But it may turn out that to get yourself to the position where you're able to write 1,000 words a day, you have to do so many other things well. You have to get a good night's sleep. You have to eat well. You have to not stay out late partying, drinking, and cavorting late at night if you're going to do those 2,000 words a day or the 1,000 words a day. Everyone is different. And even for any one individual at different times in your life, you could be different. There are times in my life when I've wanted to really focus on just a handful of habits. Now I find the more habits I do, the easier it gets, and it doesn't necessarily take more time. But here's the thing. You need some number, and you need to be aware of it. Because if you tell yourself, well, I don't like to be constrained, I don't want to seem bureaucratic, I don't want to be just a list checker, let me just see how life goes each day. If you don't have a clear-cut sense of exactly what your habits are, well, other people and other organizations are going to swoop down. They're going to see you as prey. And they're going to say, oh, look at TJ here. He thinks he's just going to be spontaneous today and float around. We're going to trick him. We're going to convince him to sell his eyeballs to our advertisers by getting him to watch the videos we want. Or we're going to trick him into filling his body with lots of sugar and processed food by giving him a coupon to go down to McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken or Wendy's or maybe some high-end steakhouse. But we're going to convince him to give us his money and to do things for us and to enrich us. That's what everyone else in the world is looking at it. And I don't mean to sound cynical about it. That's the way capitalistic societies work. Corporations, individuals, everyone wants you to do something. Your local government wants you to make sure you paid your property taxes, so they may have sent you a letter asking you to do that. Well, that's a form of an advertisement. That's a marketing message. That's an attempt to give you a cue, have you take a specific action, write a check, and then get the reward of, well, your schools are paid for, you don't go to jail. So everyone is trying to get you to follow their habits. All day long, we are bombarded by radio ads, TV ads, internet commercials, online streaming shows. Everyone wants you to do something to start a new habit to help them. And hey, I'm guilty of it too. I'm going to ask you to start the habit of liking this video. I want you to start the habit of subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my Facebook page. I'm as guilty as the next. That's why it's critically important before you give your attention to anyone else. You have got to figure out what's for you. What is most important to you? What are the habits you care about? And they're so important, you're actually going to think about them a little every single day. And you're going to spend time coming up with cues, something to remind you of that thing so that you then do it on a daily basis. Now, those of you who are regulars on this show know that I'm very, very excited about and positive towards Selfie Speak programming. That's where you just record into your own cell phone the habits you want to do each day. And you tell yourself you're going to do them. And that is your cue. And that's your reminder. And that's reinforcement. So let's just pick one of my habits. It's a tiny habit. It's a good habit. But it's not earth-shattering. It's not going to make me a billionaire. It's not going to make me lose 50 pounds. Not that I need to or want to lose 50 pounds. But let me just give you an example. One habit that I have that I don't just do automatically is drink a large glass of water as soon as I get up, this size of a glass of water. I know it's a good thing to do. I don't dislike water. It's just left up to me. I just won't think about drinking any water the first 2-3 hours I wake up. So in my Selfie Speak audio program, I tell myself, TJ, you're going to drink a full glass of water as soon as you wake up. It only takes a few seconds to say that. I also have in my Selfie Media program, these are pictures, these are images that I show myself, almost like a little movie every day. I have myself drinking a glass of water with it, text over it, drink 1 glass of water first thing in the morning. Boom, I only look at that for 1 second. But sometimes even that isn't enough to remind me. It's only when I pick up my phone and I go through my to-do list first thing in the morning and I'll see an item, drink full glass of water first thing in the morning, and do I put a W for win? Yeah, I did that. Or a no, I didn't do it. Well, I don't want to put a no for something that simple and that easy. So if I haven't yet taken the cue and consumed a glass of water by hearing about it, by watching images of it, then reading text, seeing it in an intellectual way, the 3 of those things fuse together. There's some synergy and it's very powerful. And it's just impossible for me not to drink a glass of water at that point unless there's no water, unless the water's turned off. And that hasn't happened in a long time. So that's what I do for 100 different habits a day. Again, for you, you might only want to do 1 habit. There's no one perfect number. But you have to decide. You have to figure out what works for you. What is going to make you more comfortable? And what is something you can stick with? You know, the old saw about what's the best form of exercise. Anything you enjoy enough to do on a regular basis is. The best habits are the ones that you don't just write down, you don't just create cues, but you can stick with it, and so you don't just give up. You know, there's this old debate, do you need to do something 21 days, 2 weeks, 66 days before it becomes a habit? I subscribe to the advertising marketing theory of habits. Does Coke give up after advertising to you for 66 days or for 21 days? No. They bombard you with cues every single day from the day you're born until the day you die. In fact, you look out over your grave site, there's probably a billboard within sight advertising Coca-Cola. So even beyond the grave, they're going to market to anyone who comes to your grave. That's what I think is most effective, rather than just saying, oh, I did this for 2 weeks, now it's a habit. It's not like that with most things. If it's really important, it cannot hurt you to get daily reminders forever. Now, you could certainly tweak and change. I may go from 100 habits I remind myself to in my audio and video each day. At some point, I may pare it down to 20. Don't know. I may go up to 200. The point is experimentation. When I'm experimenting, at least I am in control. The problem so many of us face is we turn over all the control of our mind, our body, our actions, our habits to other people, to the good folks at Amazon and Facebook and YouTube and Netflix. And individually, they're all lovely people, but collectively, they are trying to rob you of every second of your life, every second of your self-identity. That's why it's crucial for you to decide your habit number. What is your habit number? How many active, good habits do you try to follow every single day? Let me know. Post that in the comment section.